Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bob Sheppard Day at Yankee Stadium. Please direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome your Master of Ceremonies, John Sterling.
Thank you, Jim Hall. You know, it's not often that we hear a voice upstairs other than that of Bob Sheppard. But today is truly a rare occasion. Today, we honor the remarkable achievements of a man who has sat behind the microphone for 50 years. He is, without a doubt, the voice of Yankee Stadium. And he is clearly the most recognized public address announcer in the history of sports. Now it's my pleasure to introduce some of the people who have come to share this memorable day. 1951. Bob Sheppard's first year as public address announcer. This Yankee great was the reigning MVP of the American League. He played shortstop on so many Yankee pennant winners and world championship teams. And then, without missing a beat, went to the broadcast booth and became one of the best in the business. You know him as the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto. When asked about his greatest moment behind the microphone, Bob Sheppard did not hesitate. October 8th, 1956, the World Series, the Yankees and the Brooklyn Dodgers. The series was tied at 2 games apiece, the pivotal Game 5, and this tall right-hander from San Diego, California, pitched the only perfect game in World Series history. Ladies and gentlemen, Don Lawson. Now, you've seen this innumerable times, captured for history. Don Lawson threw the third strike past Dale Mitchell of the Dodgers. Perfect game, Yankees win. The catcher runs out and jumps into the arms of Don Lawson. He celebrated a lot, this fella, because he was on 10 World Series championship Yankee teams. Hall of Famer, Yogi Berra. Now, you may recall a moment not too long ago. It was last year, July 18th, 1999, Yogi Berra Day, when Bob Sheppard last announced this famous duo. They took the mound and relived that pivotal moment as Yogi Berra caught Don Lawson's ceremonial first pitch. And then something magical happened. It was deja vu all over again. Because that day, this gentleman pitched another perfect game. Yankee right-hander David Cone. David now will present Bob Life's Mary, 38 roses, one for each of their wonderful years together. This Yankee is a personal favorite of Bob Sheppard's, continuing the great legacy of center fielders, from DiMaggio to Mickey, and like Mickey, a product of the great state of Oklahoma. He once hit 4 consecutive home runs in a doubleheader in 1970. And now a terrific Yankee broadcaster, Bobby Murcer. Another one of Bob's greatest moments, October 18th, 1977. You may remember the game. World Series, Yankees and Dodgers. Yankees leading 3-2 on the precipice of another world championship. Well, this superstar hit 3 home runs in Game 6 to propel the Yankees to another World Series victory. Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. There are many Yankee luminaries who, because of commitments, could not be here. One of them, one of your favorites, sent Bob a telegram that I'd like to read right now. It says, "Bob, congratulations on this well-deserved honor. The sound of your voice is as big a part of Yankee history as the signature swings of Joe DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle. Congratulations, and God bless. Don Mattingly." Now, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the Diamond Vision in right center field for a special message from another great Yankee.
To Bob Sheppard, sorry I can't be with you today to celebrate this momentous occasion, but you certainly are deserving of it. I just want you to know that even from the very first time you introduced me here at the stadium, I knew I was a Yankee. And I just want to say, for everyone that's worn a Yankee uniform, thanks for bringing dignity, honor, and confidence to us each time we walk to home plate. Have a great day.
Now, it's within great pleasure that I introduce the Sheppard family. His sons, Paul Sheppard, accompanied by Gisela Tunon; Christopher Sheppard, accompanied by his wife, Dorothy, and his daughters, Sister Mary Sheppard and Barbara Derenowski, accompanied by her husband, John. Now it's time to meet our guest of honor. There's really only one man who could introduce the voice of Yankee Stadium, and that man is the voice of the 20th century. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome to the microphone a man long recognized as the most trusted man in America, a national treasure, Mr. Walter Cronkite.
Thank you, John, and good afternoon, everyone, in this great temple to baseball. Let's go back to the way it was on Tuesday, April 17th, 1951, at almost this very same time of day. The Yankees were getting ready to open their season at Yankee Stadium with a game against the Boston Red Sox. Some of you have perhaps heard of them. And up in the press box a high school speech teacher named Bob Sheppard is getting ready for the first day of what he believes is a part-time job. His role behind the microphone up there is simple. Just announce the lineups before the game, and then the names and the numbers of the batters and the pitchers throughout the day. That was 50 baseball seasons ago, and so much in our world has changed since then. Harry Truman occupied the White House that particular day, and 9 more men have followed him to the White House since then. We were actually introduced that day to a young fellow named Mickey Mantle. He wore number 6. And we, of course, had never heard of a fellow named Elvis. But then he didn't play baseball. We've been to the moon, and now we have our eyes on the stars. But the space program was still just a dream in 1951. And when you said the word Dodgers, you meant Brooklyn Dodgers. Yes, an awful lot has changed in our lives, but one thing has not. That man behind the microphone, 50 seasons ago, he began a part-time job. Today, he is as synonymous with the New York Yankees as the greatest players he ever introduced. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our honored guest today, the voice of Yankee Stadium, Mr. Bob Sheppard.
Ladies and gentlemen, please sit down. Ladies and gentlemen, for all that's changed in the great game of baseball, the voice of Yankee Stadium has remained a constant. Bob Sheppard's voice moves us, inspires us, and stirs emotion within us so eloquently that it's been said many times that he has the voice of God. He's a link to baseball's past and a living tribute to those men whose names have echoed in the walls of this great ballpark. Please turn your attention to the screen in center field for this video presentation.